Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here, aka the original card game for the win, and I think I have things working now, but just kind of an interesting thought here. Yeah, I know, back on Magic Duels, but for basically just a reason. And that is, I was just going to show that there's still a few things I'm wanting to do in this game. It's just kind of a little announcement about what I'm planning on maybe doing a little bit of on the future here and there. That's kind of going on an emblem quest because there's actually no rank anymore. Like, that was always viewed through quests, and that's been disabled for like quite some time. And that also means the achievements for anything rank related aren't really relevant anymore because, I mean, sure, it might have been eventual to get, but at the same time, it's not gonna ever actually happen because of the way that Steam achievements work, and the fact is that if you can't get a rank, it won't sync that way. So, if there's no rank, there's no rank-related achievement. That said, there's some things that's still interesting to do, and at least in my book, it's something that I consider kind of personal achievements doing, is getting emblems over time. And not like the ones that you inflict on other players or that they'd inflict on you, but like the ones that you achieve by getting, uh, planeswalkers to give you their emblem and get you that little advantage for the rest of the duel. So there's that, and there's several that I've gotten over time. Like I've gotten the one for Gideon, ally of Zendikar, and I've gotten the one for Gideon of the Trials. But at the same time, there's also a few that you just kind of get for doing certain things. Kind of like I've shown off in Arena, there's some that you get for doing certain types of modes. And the same's also true for certain story missions here, like the ones related to the Gatewatch that you get, where you get a little special backup through the emblem. And that's something that's cool here. And, oh yeah, almost forgot that it was way back here that we had our first Sigil of the Empty Throne. You may have seen that in Magic in Magic Arena, but it came from Magic Origins in terms of which set it came from. So there's a thought. But yeah, let me see here. Let me see if I can find some of them that I need to hunt down, because I'm wondering how many do I really got that I could do from here. Like whether or not I can get them on Arena. Like, could I do them from here? Just so that, if there's not much happening in Arena at the time, that I might do a little bit of Magic Duels. This one I'd need, and yeah, I know it's been reprinted in Amonkhet Remastered, but this is one of the emblems I'd be going for. So that would take an interesting set of circumstances, but I could pull it off. And here's another emblem that I could go for. That would be interesting for like a super milling run. At the same time, it's actually kind of interesting how you get the achievement for milling an opponent, because you can actually usually, in fact, it's kind of forced on you in one of the story mode missions, so there's that. I mean, it's been a while since I mentioned that particular fight, but whenever you were going up against your supposed, darn lips, your supposed Sphinx patron, then Jace realizes he has to drain his mind, and in other words, represented as draining their deck, so, or draining their library of cards. So you got to mill that one out because you would have an awfully hard time actually damaging them enough to take them down. But yeah, those two are a pair that I need to be after. So both of Jace. I've gotten both of them for Liliana, actually, from here. Both as Defiant Necromancer and as... Yeah, this one is Defiant Necromancer. I've gotten that emblem before. and his last hope, so I've gotten that emblem before. Let's see here. So that's at least 2. Most versions of Nissa don't actually have emblems that you gain. That's kind of a weird thought. But this one does. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. She's got an emblem that I haven't gotten yet, so that's one that I'll try to achieve at some point. So right now I'm just kind of calling out my targets here. So there's that one. And there's also a few other special goals, like doing all 3 of the fusions over time, the melded creatures. Because they were all basically in one set, and that was Eldritch Moon. And that was included here in Magic Duels. So in terms of like getting them all, it actually wouldn't really be that big of a thing per se. It's just that I haven't actually taken the time to get them all. So there's like a serious thought there that I could pull that off. There's at least like one time in the tutorials that it actually teaches how to do meld, and so there's one of the 3 pairs that you can actually get just done that way, because it basically shows you how to pull it off, and it's like, yeah, you have to like fill the condition, and then they fuse into one creature, and it's treated kind of as a double-sided thing in a very particular way. So it's kind of like transform, but it's kind of not. And it was later, of course, supplanted by the very cool mutate ability in Ikoria, where you was really fusing creatures together and could do it miscellaneously at that, which was really awesome. Nissa, Vital Force, she's got one. And so this would be one that I'd be targeting at some point. So that's 4. So it's at least 4. Let's see, are there like enough to really go for it? Because I've gotten plenty over time, and some from Arena. But it would be good to kind of buff up my number of emblems I've earned in my personal idea of what that kind of achievement would be like. Am I going over here at some point? Tamiyo's, she's gotten interesting. Well, that one in particular is crazy. Yeah, playing non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. That's a little nuts. That said, she is a 3-color planeswalker, so you'd have to have various mana sources to do that, but it could happen. So, yeah, it would be a little wild, but at least it would be possible. So that's, let me think here. That's at least 5 right now that I'd be going for. Because I have 2 from Jace, 1 from Chandra, 1 from Nissa, 1 here with Tamiyo. So yeah, that'd be 5. These 2 actually don't have emblems. So, nope, not there. This version of a Johnny does not. Now, Tezzeret, on the other hand, that's interesting because you can have an artifact become a 5/5 creature. It's saying at the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 5/5. The thing is that emblem, it doesn't say that it ends at end of turn, so you would have an army of very big artifacts. And the thing is, the artifact doesn't have to be a non-creature artifact. You can use it to just make an artifact that's already an artifact creature a lot stronger and a lot tougher. So you can use that to beef up a small one if you really want to. So that would be very interesting. So, oh, very interesting, very Tezzeret. Let's see here. Yeah, she doesn't have an emblem. Kiora has an emblem, though, so that'd be one I'd be going for, so that'd be like 7 out of them, actually. No emblem here for Nissa. Okay, well, there's something... I was also kind of curious about thinking about this one for some reasons, because I've been thinking a lot of shapeshifters that can copy creatures recently, so I was just thinking about that, and yeah, basically an uncounterable shapeshifter that enters as a copy of a creature with additional counters on it. So yeah, that was a classic. Which one was that under? Shadows over Innistrad. Okay. And I have heard they're going to be doing a lot of Innistrad eventually. I don't know if it's going to reprint ones from previous Innistrad, or if it's going to be new, or both. So that's an interesting thing to look forward to, is whenever they go crazy with more Innistrad. So Gothic Horror is going to be back, folks, and it's going to be very Innistrad. Oh, and Arlen Cord. Very interesting, because you're flipping between 2 different versions of the Planeswalker, adjusting loyalty as you go along. So you can only get the actual emblem on one side, but it can be done, and that's something I'm hoping of doing at some point, because that would be like 8 emblems still left to obtain in Magic Duels that could actually do. So that would be kind of cool. Looks like on this side they get more power and toughness for a boost to a creature, and on this side the gained ability gives less, but also grants trample instead of vigilance. Of course, that grants vigilance and haste. So it's like on this side, it's just like a bigger creature boost. And this side, you can like strike down a target pretty heavily, but then you transform back, and you can only really get the emblem on this side, so you'd have to really be doing some adjustment to get that. This might be the trickiest Planeswalker in Magic Duels to actually get the emblem of. So there's a thought. But still, that is 8 so far. And there's no colorless Planeswalkers in Magic Duels, so no Karn, no Ujin, so that's basically all the Planeswalkers in this version, so that was all of them. So that is a grand total of 8. I was just looking at this flying land for a moment and going, yeah, voice classic. So that should be it for what I have left to do here, is just doing some emblem questing. So that could be fun in its own way. So maybe I'll do that whenever there's nothing in particular going on in the MTG arena. For now, I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later, and bye for now, everybody. And remember, MTG forever.